Okay, solving for inequalities, part two. This is the only thing that makes inequalities different than just normal equations with equal sign. Most of the time, you're just going to drop down the greater or equal sign. This is the only time you're not. And it's when you multiply each side or divide, okay, by a negative number. So now right here, I look at this and I'm going to divide each side by a -3. Once you divide by a negative number, that's the big thing. A red flag should go in your head. That's the one where we're going to flip this. We're going to solve the problem like normal. So we solve it just like an equal sign, but this is where we flip the sign because I am dividing by a negative number. Okay, let's look at this one right here. X divided by -5. Well, to solve that, I have to multiply, but multiply by what? I have to multiply by a negative number. And once I multiply by a negative number, that is when I have to flip the sign. Okay? So I'm going to throw a couple problems on the board, and we're just going to ask ourselves, do you flip or do you not flip? So give me a second and I'll get those going. Okay, I have 5 examples up on the board. Let's go ahead and work out the problems. So I take a look at this one. I'm going to divide each side by 2. Again, I'm dividing by what? I'm dividing by 2. I don't care about any other number. The only number I care about is that one that comes in front of the x. Is that a negative number? No, it is not a negative number. So I just copy it down. I do not flip the sign. But this side's negative. Good point, but I don't care. I only care about the number that's in front of that x. And since he's a positive, I don't flip any sign. Okay, let's look at this one. I'm going to multiply by what? A negative number. Ding, ding, ding. This is your situation. I am multiplying by a negative number. So this is the one where you have to flip the sign. Okay, and I get a -12 right there. There's my answer. Look at this next one. I'm dividing by what? A negative number. So since I'm dividing by a negative number, this is a situation where I'm going to flip the sign. But the answer is positive. Doesn't matter. I divided by a negative. That's all that matters. Let's go to this one. Oh, now I'm going to subtract the 7 from both sides. Oh, look, there's my negative number on both sides. So do I flip? Well, how about I make this an inequality first? Sorry, let's call that less than. Got a little crazy right there. Okay, so let's call that less than. Make that more of a point. Well, I have a minus here and a minus here. Do I flip? No. Why? Because I'm not multiplying or dividing. I'm just subtracting. You can subtract all you want and you don't have to flip anybody. As long as there's no multiplication or division, you're not going to flip. Okay? Look at this one. Oh, I'm going to have to multiply each side by 2. And there's a negative number over here. So does that mean I flip? No, you do not flip. Why do you not flip? Because you are multiplying by a positive, not a negative. Okay, so work out some problems so you feel really good about them. They'll all be mixed up in the worksheets that we do. I think the first worksheet, they're all going to have the negative where you're going to flip, but then we're going to mix them in worksheet B and C. So make sure that you can see how they all mix up so you don't get confused and you know when to flip and you know when not to flip, and then you will be a pro at inequalities.